Zach Man from Dynamic Strength Facility, or dynamicstrength.org. That's the website. And today we're going to talk about 3 muscle actions that are very, very important and that I feel as though you guys should know. Now, I'm sure everyone and their fucking mom on YouTube has made a video about this, about these 3 movements and these 3 muscle actions and how they are and what they are, but I want to give my little spin on it, make it pretty simple for you guys who don't really know what I'm talking about. The first thing that we'll talk about, and we'll go over a couple of things here, go over a couple of things there, we'll go over how to do the movements, how to perform the muscle actions. We'll go over the muscle actions, which are isometrics, concentric, and eccentric movements, and then we'll go over isotonics, but that's all 3 of those in one. But we're going to go over isometrics, concentric, and eccentric movement. And I know that's kind of awkward and it's a little bit different than most people go over. They normally go over like concentric or eccentric and then isometric and then concentric, and that's great. If we're going to go over the bench, which we are. We're going to go over the bench press today. I'll demonstrate how to do a bench press. I'll demonstrate the movements or the muscle actions and how concentric motion happens during the bench, eccentric motion happens during the bench, and isometric happens during the bench. But for the sake of it, we're going to talk about it right now, and I'll demonstrate in the air, and then I'll demonstrate on the bench. So the first movement that I want to go over, it's kind of awkward because normally people don't do it, but I want to go over isometrics first. So isometrics. Whenever you hear this in the gym or you hear someone talking about isometrics in the gym, they'll probably hear them tell you to hold a movement for a little while. Like they'll probably tell you to squat and hold that squat position for a little bit. But since we're going over bench and we're going to be going, also we're going to go over force and how all 3 of these movements or motions or muscle actions play with force. So isometrics is the isometrics dynamically stabilized force. So if I'm doing a bench press, let's go over to the bench press and demonstrate. Come on. So if I'm doing a bench press, hopefully this is good right here. If I'm doing a bench press and I unrack the bar, first things first, right when I unrack the bar, I'm isometrically holding the bar. This is an isometric hold right here in and of itself. Now, for the sake of this video, and to keep it simple, we're going to go over just the 2 movements that happen isometrically, or how you can use the bench with 2 movements isometrically. So, the first movement I just did. You unrack the bar at a LA Fitness or Shaq's or your local powerlifting gym, or hopefully if you guys have one, or anything, and you unrack the bar, that's an isometric hold in and of itself right there. You're engaging the stabilizer muscles in your shoulders, you're engaging your tricep muscles, your elbow stabilizers, you're engaging joint stabilization, you're setting up your movement, you're doing all this good shit right there. So before you even start, that's your first thing. You're isometrically holding the bar automatically. Now, isometrics can go against body weight or external resistance, and using this would be external resistance. Whenever you bench press, you're working against gravity and against the weight that you're pushing, you're against the weight that you're pushing. Okay, so I just did the first movement of isometrics. Now I'm going to go over the second muscle action of isometrics, or the second movement that you could use the bench press to perform an isometric deal. So, in the bench, right? I'm going to unrack the bar. Unrack the bar. I made this real quick. This right here. So, this bottom position is an isometric hold. You're holding this right here at an isometric hold. Now, there's other ways that you can isometrically play around with the bench press. Now, a lot of people like to utilize quality isometrics, but we won't go deep into that today because that's a little bit too advanced right now. So, we just went over the first movement, isometrics. Let's go over the second movement, eccentrics. So whenever you unrack a bar, you're automatically isometrically contracting that hold, right? So, right when I unrack the bar, I'm in the isometric phase. As I lower down, that would be called eccentrics. Or, you'll probably hear it in the gym, it would be called working your negative, you know, or just negative. Because working your negative means that you're lowering down slower than normal, or you would be decelerating force slower than normal to get more of an eccentric contraction. But, forget about that right now. We're going over eccentrics, it's the same deal, but whenever you do eccentrics, you are decelerating force, or you are going with force as it presses against you. So if I'm here, I'm not going to fucking let a bar slam on my chest, break my ribs, ultimately probably severely injure me, and maybe even pass away, or die. I don't want to do that. So building eccentric contractions and utilizing those type of muscle movements and utilizing that movement is fucking, it's a must. I mean, you gotta work eccentrics to produce a great bench. I mean, you also have to work concentric motion, but we're gonna go over that right now. So, eccentrics, I'm not gonna demonstrate on the bar right now, but I'll do it just in the air like I just did. Eccentrics, your isometrics will hold it up top, lowering it down. This is eccentrics. Right here it's isometrics. Now we're gonna go to the last movement, and probably one of the biggest movements. It's the movement that everyone does. Concentric movement, or a push, or working against force. Alright, eccentrics went with force to decelerate force. Now, you are producing force with concentric motion, or concentric muscle action, and you're going to work against it. So, if I have external resistance, or the bar, and I'm working against gravity in the bar, and I'm already at the bottom phase of my bench press, I'm going to concentrically explode or push the bar forward. Now, what happens when that occurs is you are working against the gravity and against the resistance that is being placed upon you, but you're producing maximum amount of force, depending upon the intensity or the percentages that you're going off of. I mean, shit, you could just be working for fucking reps, or you could be working for, you know, a speed day. Well, powerlifters will know what I'm talking about by that, or a speed day. But just for the sake of it, we're gonna go super heavy. We're gonna go max heavy, max strength, and we're gonna do bench. And so basically, I got sidetracked right there. My bad. So we're concentrically working, and we're producing force. That's where I left off. Fuck. So we're producing force. Now, what happens when we produce force is that initial output, or that initial contraction will show maximum force contraction or maximum force productivity. But as the contraction fully happens, or the movement fully occurs, deceleration of force slowly occurs until that movement's already done. So, best movement that to keep it super simple is, I'm here, I'm a fighter. What am I gonna do? I just threw a jab. I just concentrically threw a jab. Boom. Now, don't forget that you can concentrically pull too. So, I'll demonstrate concentric pull right now. Right now, we're supposed to bench. We're gonna fucking do suspension band rows. Automatically, isometrically hold myself right here. Right? Gonna create an L with my arms, lower down my scaps, retract my shoulder blades, or retract my scaps and depress my shoulder blades as well. Get that nice L in the arm. Lower down, eccentrically lowering it down. Isometric hold right here. Concentrically squeezing the chops back and rolling my body forward. That's a concentric motion right there. Eccentric, concentric, isometric. That would be concentric row. Now, this is all going around force. So force, for those of you who don't know, is force equals mass times acceleration. Sorry. I mean, I literally fucking have it right here. I should know. heart, you know, but whatever. So, I mean, I do know it by heart, but I should know how to say it by heart. But, so, all these three motions or movements or muscle actions go with force or have something to do with force. We all produce force. So, I just wanted to show you guys a little something quick and easy on talking about those three muscle actions. And I said I was going to go over isotonics, and isotonics is all three of those put together. It's the production of force, it's the development of muscular force output, and it's all that good stuff. It's all three of those, it's motion. You know, that's really what it is, more or less. The main things you need to figure out, or the main things you need to worry about, are those three muscle actions. Eccentrics, isometrics, and concentrics. Or concentric, isometric, eccentric. Whichever way you want to orderize it, or order it, it doesn't really matter. But I mean, it matters whenever you're programming, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about putting it into a sentence. So, that was me. That was sad, right? Right what I just said right there. I'm Zach Man from Dynamic Strength. If you guys don't know, go on to dynamicstrength.org. That's where you can find online training. You can become my personal client. I'll Skype with you, I'll FaceTime with you. I'll take the time to cater to your plans, to cater to your time. And the great thing about online training is that online training allows you to go to the gym on a specific hour whenever it is that you want, as long as you fit it in the day that is prescribed. So go on to Trainerized or go on to dynamicstrength.org, click onto the online training portion of dynamicstrength.org, click client, login, click that button. Once you click the button, it will take you to my dynamicstrengthfacility.trainerized.com. Now, at the top right, you could either put become a client. I wouldn't really put that right away. I'd rather you go on to the online training portion of that site, of dynamicstrengthfacility.trainerized.com. Go on to the online training portion of it. Look at the packages you'd like to choose from. I normally provide 3 packages right now. I mean, I'm providing other ones. I'll go into powerlifting, go into all this stuff. I'm going to cater to you guys. You'll be able to fill out a consultation form. We'll do all that stuff. Get my phone number. We'll talk daily. It'll be a great time. But, so, going on to the online training, you're going to go on to the dynamicstrength.org, online training. It will take you to the Trainerized website, dynamicstrengthfacility.trainerized.com. Then, go on to that online training tab, click it, go to the bottom right, there'll be the packages. There's the beginner package, 6-week package, which is $120. There's the intermediate package, which is $170, which is still 6 weeks. And then there's the advanced, which is $220, and that's 6 weeks as well. Now, those are for people that, the beginner, a lot of people have to go through the beginner. I mean, I'm not saying that you should pick the beginner because it's best, but it allows for stabilization and working and learning how to engage your core the best. There'll be movements that you've already done, there'll be movements that you haven't done. The great thing about Trainerized is that it provides video for every single movement. Every single movement that I write on there or I prescribe for you, there's a fucking video for it. And you'll be able to witness it and you'll be able to watch it every single day. So, that's the rundown of that whole deal. My online or my video on dynamicstrength.org is a little bit kind of all over the place. So, I just wanted to give it a little bit better of a video, I guess. But I'm Zach Man, and welcome to Dynamic Strength, or welcome to Dynamic Strength. Sorry, I stutter and I mumble a little bit, so oops. But it was great informing you guys about the 3 muscle actions that I just did. I will be uploading more and more videos. I'll be uploading movement videos. I'll be uploading informative videos. If you want, follow me on Zachman DSF. Zachman DSF. I don't know why I literally just looked away like I didn't know my fucking name on Instagram. That's my Instagram handle, Zachman DSF, where I give 15 seconds, because that's all it provides, give you 15 seconds of informative shit. Whether it's force, whether it's powerlifting methods, whether it's nutrition stuff, whether it's all that stuff, and there's funny memes too, so that's cool. But I give informative stuff on Instagram, so if you want to check that out. If you want, follow me on Tumblr. I blog on Tumblr, so it's Dynamic Strength or Zachman DSF on Tumblr. And I'll see you guys around. Thanks for visiting Dynamic Strength.